Welcome and thank you for coming to another amazing Think and Thrive event here at Sunmarke School. Today we are very excited to have our external guest speaker Matteo, and our moderator today interviewing and asking the questions is our role model student Sofia. She is in year 12 here at Sunmarke, one of our eco-warriors and newly appointed deputy head girl for next year. Thank you, and we look forward to hearing your interview.
Thanks so much.
Good afternoon. It is truly an honour to welcome you all to our Think and Thrive Summit. Our guest today is Swiss entrepreneur and investor Matteo Boffa. With a background in finance and military service, he has since shifted his focus to sustainability, social impact and environmental protection. He is an active investor and serves on multiple company boards globally. He also teaches entrepreneurship, social impact and sustainability at universities in the UAE and Switzerland. For his work, he has been recognised by Forbes 30 Under 30, winning MEED's Middle East Young Entrepreneur of the Year award, and receiving the Business Tabloid's Green Entrepreneur of the Year accolade. Mr. Boffa, thank you for being with us here today. We are truly privileged to hear from your experiences and wisdom.
Thank you so much for the invite. I'm very happy and honored and actually a bit excited about this.
Starting with your childhood and early life, can you give us a brief overview of this? Where were you born and raised?
So I was born and raised in Switzerland.
As a child, what did you like about school and what did you not like about school?
Mostly the break. I loved the break and the sport classes. I was not a very good student, to be honest. I was struggling a lot with mathematics and languages in Switzerland. I don't know if you are aware, but from very little age, you have to speak at least 3 national languages, which is Italian, French, and German. I've been raised in the Italian-speaking part, which is the smallest one. So for us, it was important to be introduced to different languages, and for me, was a big challenge.
Yeah, that's definitely very interesting, and I'm sure many of the students here relate to that first part. Did you have an influential person or topic in school that raised your interest in the environment?
Not necessarily at that age. Environment and sustainability was not really a big topic at the time. We're talking about like 25 years ago. So it was not something that school or people or politics were really talking about. So it was nothing that I was able to jump in at that age.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So now that we know a little bit about you, we'll start talking more about your professional journey. So what inspired you to pursue entrepreneurship in this sector and how did you get started?
So I have to go a little bit back. As I mentioned, I was not a very good student. And at the age of 14, when you finish the mandatory school in Switzerland, you have to take a decision which leads you to start a profession, which is the apprenticeship career, or the school to go after to university. So based on my notes at school, I was not very successful in the idea of going to university. And my family as well said, Matteo, go work, it's better. So they gently pushed me to working. So I started working for a bank at the age of 14, 15 years old, which is not child labor, is legal. You can have it for any type of profession, from like pastry, mechanic, banker, insurance, so any type of profession you can jump. What is the advantage is that you start very early, and if you perform, you can as well continue working after this 3-year formation. Again, I passed these 3 years and I did my military service, which is mandatory in Switzerland. And I realized that on top of not being a very good student, I was not very good employee as well. I didn't really enjoy what I was doing. Managing somebody else's money was interesting for a certain point. The career was quite easy to reach with time. But I was not very good. I was not very passionate about it. And after what happened is I decided to become an entrepreneur.
That's certainly interesting. So given the dynamic and kind of ever-changing nature of the sustainability industry, how do you stay updated on emerging trends and ensure that you stay informed when making relevant decisions?
Is actually thanks to students like you. I participate a lot in incubator, accelerator inside the university or inside school here in the UAE, Switzerland, and now lately in Mexico. And what I love to do is find people or students with great idea And I love to invest in their idea and believe in what they want to do and change the world in a positive way. Why? Because even if I'm 33 years old, I'm not updated with the latest technology and especially the new trends in sustainability. So I don't have the patience to start my own business. What I'm doing, I'm scouting bright minds with good idea and a lot of time and energy to invest.
It's very nice to hear. So can you share some of the latest innovations, technology, or sustainable practices that you've been advocating for?
Yes, this is a bit kind of weird. Cricket's not the sport that you for sure know, insect. So I've been invited by the Mexican government to attend startup competition by different university, and a group of students slightly older than you came on stage and present something totally new, something that left me speechless, and they give me some products which were cookies, pasta, and other products made out of crickets, the insect. So I said, this is very fascinating, the taste is good, but what is the sustainability angle on this? It's basically food for the future. It's avoid to use a lot of water, electricity, and as well, it's something that grows very fast, and the impact for the society is very, very good. And you avoid to kill cows and other animals.
Yeah, definitely. So why is it essential for young people to be aware of climate change, and what role can we play in combating it?
So I'm not as technical as Greta Thunberg, probably. My knowledge in climate change is it's kind of limited, but I think it's extremely important to look in what is the future. Maybe my generation are gonna kind of survive out of it in a decent way. Your generation slightly with more challenges, which is going to be probably related to water. That's why as well the cricket is something that it's interesting for me to invest. The future is not super bright. Yesterday I heard on the radio that Switzerland already used the consumption for the year, and we are not even half of the year. So it's something that is getting challenging for people, and there are solutions that can be implemented without have to put millions in renewable energy or like big projects. Every person in this room can make a small change and make it straight away.
Wow. So you are known also to invest in products and practices that promote a positive environmental impact, as we mentioned before. What are some examples of kind of smaller investments that ordinary people can make in their daily lives?
I will turn a little bit to your question in saying in 2019, I was in a room very similar to this one at Amity University in Dubai. And there was a startup competition where I was one of the judges. And a young guy, Ashai Bave from India, came on stage, and crazy hair and very young, very dynamic. And he presented his concept of creating the first world shoe made out of plastic bags and plastic bottle, recycled. And he handed me up a shoe. I don't have the picture here, but I can tell you it was the most ugliest shoe I ever saw in my life. It was the left shoe, which is kind of unlucky as well. And the product was horrible. The prototype was very, very bad, but I see something in this bright mind. And he presented the business plan, and I loved it. And I decided, okay, let me meet this guy the day after. Day after, we met for a coffee, and I put $10,000 on the table. Related to your question of small investment. I acquired 49% of his idea. And along the way, we, of course, developed the company. And Mr. Anand Mahindra, which is a multi-billionaire head of Mahindra Group, he has 250,000 employees, big billionaire. He saw a video that was online about us and decided to invest. So why I'm entering very early with small investment is because it gives me a chance to be part of a company from the beginning, give a little bit of my support. So I'm not technical, I'm not very experienced, I've never been to university, so I have very little knowledge of things, but I believe in the person, and we basically create from a prototype to now it's a $10 million company, and he's 22 years old, and it was Forbes 30 under 30 as well last year. So this is investment that people can do in themselves in creating products or services that can really change the world without have to put a lot of money on the table.
Yeah, that's very inspiring. So how do you think education systems around the world can incorporate social impact, environmental protection, and sustainability into their curriculums?
I was just mentioning with one of your teacher, when I was at school at your age, there was nothing like this. not the chance of being like exposed to entrepreneur or to work people was very like book, that's the book. You have to learn the book, you have to study it, and if you remember it for the exam, good for you. There was no interaction with the external world, and I'm extremely impressed what the UAE school are doing. People like you maybe will not be very impressed, but maybe can be motivated on looking in, okay, what I can do, what I can invent. There are people out there that can help me with money to create my idea. So I think the curriculum, especially in this school, it's extremely well done.
Thank you. So what kind of opportunities are available for young entrepreneurs interested in making a difference, particularly within sustainability?
We had a small chat before with you, and I asked you what will be your dream work or what's going to happen after school, and you mentioned engineer in the environmental field. This is a job that probably 10, 15 years ago didn't really exist. CSR manager, corporate and social responsibility manager, didn't really exist. So now the world is changing in having position related to sustainability and impact. And students like you're an example, are driving through these opportunities. So I think it's the world changing in good, from academic to work.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a lot of talk about Dubai becoming net zero in the future, that is, overall zero carbon emissions. How realistic do you think this is, or how distant do you think this imagined future is?
I think it's possible for a simple reason. They are very visionary here, and in other countries in the world, like for Switzerland, if you want to change something, you have to wait years and years. Here they take a decision. We have the example of the plastic bags. They said, okay, from this date, no more plastic bag, and it happens. So in a way, a country that is managed in a visionary way with one decision maker and everybody that follows, of course, it's easier to manage and can grow faster in terms of being more sustainable. Rules around the world are going to change. Everybody has to apply to this type of regulation, and I think the UAE it's on the way to be a leader in sustainability, and they do it good and fast.
That's good to hear. And so you touched upon this briefly before, but how does investing in renewable energy contribute to global efforts against climate change?
Again, not very big expert in renewable energy. It's one step towards sustainability. We cannot only focus on renewable energy. It's a path that we have to do. To be honest, at your age, I was very against, for example, nuclear energy and making more research. I understood that it's not as bad as people think it is. So there is a lot of knowledge. I'm not allowed, because of my knowledge, to talk about it. But I think research, development, is something that young people like you have to go into to really understand what is the best option for energy.
Thank you for those valuable insights. Now let's have some fun and move on to our next section, the rapid fire questions. So you have 0 seconds to answer each question, which means they need to be rapid and witty.
Yeah.
So here you go. You ready?
I have to stop you. If you ask me about my superhero power, because they did it in the other school, I'm ready for it. Last time I was not ready.
That's actually our first question.
Okay.
If you were a superhero, what would your entrepreneurial superpower be?
Teletransportation.
Ooh.
I don't know if it's in English is correct, yeah?
Yeah. Various reusable eco-gadgets are becoming increasingly popular. What's your favorite eco-gadget and why?
The straw, paper straw.
If you could install renewable energy anywhere in the world, where would it be?
It will be in South Africa. Okay, can I explain as well my answer or not really?
Sure, just a little bit.
Yeah, my wife is from South Africa, and unfortunately they have a lot of problem with electricity shortage. And there are times where they don't have electricity for 6 hours a day. So for me, that will be the first market to enter.
Cool. What's the coolest or most unexpected sustainable thing you've helped advocate for?
The flip-floppy boat. It's a non-profit organization that built the first boat entirely made with plastic trash in Kenya. And it's called flip-floppy because like the external part of the boat, it's made with flip-flops. And it's all colorful. And these flip-flops are found in the beach. And we sailed it from Kenya to Zanzibar. And it was actually a very, very good thing. Yeah.
Very
flip-floppy project, you can look into it.
So as a passionate advocate for sustainability, who also travels a lot, what's your go-to eco-friendly travel tip for reducing carbon footprint?
Oh, that's a sneaky question. I'm not gonna sail a boat like Greta Thunberg towards New York, for example. Fortunately, unfortunately, I have to travel a lot. Tomorrow, this time, I'm going to be on a plane in direction to Italy. There are things that you can do to choose more eco-friendly airlines than other, and travel only if it's strictly necessary.
If you could collaborate with any celebrity or a fictional character to promote environmental protection, who would it be and why?
Adam Sandler, because he's very, very funny.
What's the most surprising misconception you've encountered about sustainability, and how do you debunk it?
Investing in sustainability it equal investing or do charity. This is not true. You can actually make money out of it. I very distinguish charity and sustainability. At the end of the day, I want to make money, to buy myself a pizza, to have a roof on top of my head. So there is this misconception of people doing sustainability just because they want to do good. You actually can make money. So, and I have the proof of different investment that I did that actually generate money, generate more employment, and etc.
Great. If you could rename the environment, what would you call it?
Gea.
That was truly rapid. Thank you. In our final section, we have a few questions wherein our students seek advice. So as a leader in your field, how do you manage to maintain a work-life balance, and how do you motivate yourself when obstacles arise?
I'm very lucky to have my partner, my wife, that really love networking. I don't really wake up early in the morning, I have to be honest. I'm not like the 5 morning classical guy that goes and gym and etc. I invest a lot of time in networking. So I do 20 nights a month where I'm going out through the business council, Dubai Chamber, and I talk to people, and I love to do it because I can expand my network in terms of finding new idea to invest in or partner or employee. So that's for me, it's my work-life balance, and as well, yeah, my wife loves to do it, so that's fantastic. And try to be active in sport. I love scuba diving, which I learned here in the UAE, and yeah, traveling, and yeah, I think it's important to have happiness and joy in your life and do something because you like it. And on top of that, if you have an impact in people and environment and society, it's also very, very good.
Cool. So when hiring young graduates straight out of university, what qualities or characteristics do employers look for in potential candidates?
I'm against CV, to be honest. When we employ people or when I employ people, I don't really look the CV. I look it just to see the name and the age probably. But I'm more the personal person, so having a 30 minutes conversation. And again, I think that soft skill in a person are more important than the hard skill. Maybe it's not the right place to say it in a school, but your humanity and how you present yourself as a person and what you want to achieve, it's very important for me.
That's very, very interesting for a lot of us to hear. So for students aspiring to join the environmental or sustainability industry, what advice would you offer them to help them stand out in the competitive market?
Try to combine one of your passion into something that you want to achieve for the future. I give you an example for me. I was very passionate about marketing and communication at a later stage of my life, and I always loved these billboards on the road, the one that you see on Sheikh Zayed Road. So I said, okay, that's very beautiful artwork. What happened after the life cycle of these billboards? You know, sometimes it's 1 week, 2 weeks. And I realized that this material, these giants of plastic, end up into the landfill. There is not very much usage. So I said, okay, what we can do with these materials? So I create a company here in the UAE, and what we do, we collect these billboards, so massive panel of PVC material. We collect it for free, because anyways the company has to throw it away. And we create bags out of it, so sport bags, backpacks. Sometimes we donate it to school as well. And we did all the billboards of Expo, for example, and more than 2,000 products. We did Formula One, etc., etc. So back to your question, very passionate about communication, marketing, and doing something sustainable and profitable. So combining the passion and make it happen.
That's certainly very interesting. So thank you very much for all your responses. I'm sure everyone enjoyed themselves listening to you speak. So thank you.
Thank you so much. And sorry, another thing, being an entrepreneur starts like you sitting in this chair asking questions to me. I'm not a successful entrepreneur. I'm trying my best, but what you're doing is more entrepreneurial than what I'm doing here. So that's the step forward to achieve great things in the future. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to our host, Sofia, and thank you, Matteo, for an enjoyable insight into the environment, which is such a vital topic to us all. Before we wrap up, do we have any questions from the audience?
First question, get a free pair of Teddy shoes.
Thank you, Connor.
What is your favorite color?
Green, I would say.
Nothing else, like dark green, light green, lime.
Green, I would say green.
So the color of the grass?
Yeah, kind of.
Nature.
Who's your role model who inspired you to environmental stuff that you do?
A role model. I think, my mom was a good role model. She was a bit obsessed into sustainability, sometimes a bit too much. So she was even segregating the top part of the toothpaste, which is aluminium. She was segregating into the right aluminium and recycling everything around the house, was a bit obsessed. But I think she was the person that taught me that a small gesture of kindness and sustainability can make a big impact.
What is something hard in your profession and how did you overcome it?
Oh, what is hard in my profession is time management. Sometimes it's complex. Being investor and board member in more than 10 companies at the moment, it's complex for me. I always want to enter in more companies, but this reduce my time that I can dedicate. And as well as a challenge, when the company grows, I kind of lose interest because it became too much complicated paperwork, admin, lawyer stuff. So I try to exit it, making some money, I lose interest quite fast. I have to be honest.
What's your most successful investment?
Zofer. I don't know if probably you don't know Zofer. It's a safe drive app. So it's a driver that you can hire per minute, per hour, per week, or per month now, and it drives your car from point A to point B. I entered the company when the two founders were still employed in their in a previous company. They had 2.5 drivers, and I was the first investor, and now we have more than 800 drivers in 2 years. So it's one of the most successful company, not only for myself, but for the UAE. And Monday we are signing a $5 million investment from a venture capitalist. So it's a good story, yeah. And a bit of luck as well. And I have a question maybe for you. Did anybody in the room has a revolutionary idea to change the world? If you have, please contact me through the school and we can sit together and maybe make it happen. You can become the next Ashai Bave that create something out of a school and make everybody proud. But I'm telling you, I'm going to get 49% of your idea.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The world seems to be running on Amazon deliveries, and at my house every day I have 5 or 6 Amazon deliveries, and they all come in a cardboard box. I would like to recycle that cardboard box, but it's not that easy. Do you think Amazon has a responsibility for the recycling of the packaging?
Unfortunately, convenience, it's very easy to have here in the UAE. I get a lot of delivery, my wife as well. The Amazon guy, it's an our door very, very often. In terms of responsibility or make money out of the cardboard, as an example, it's complex. The value, it's very, very little. It's the responsibility of the consumer to take the cardboard and bring it to a dedicated station where you can responsibly recycle it. Now, if you have to drive 30 minutes, technically, it's not eco-friendly. Your carbon footprint to drive this cardboard is higher than you to recycle it. So you have to be balanced. What is the cost for environment, even if you recycle?
Thank you again. We've really enjoyed your event, and here is a small token of appreciation from Sunmarke School.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope it was interesting.